I would like to introduce another Carey School senior, Lindsey Morey, and her Panther Points of Pride video.
Something that inspires me at Carey School is that we have the 7 habits, and it always helps us have a plan in mind, and we set goals for ahead of time, and throughout school we just learn how to go step by step to accomplish our goals. Someone I look up to is my grandma Margot, and I look up to her because she's been through a lot of hard things, and she always has a positive look at the world, and if you're feeling sad, she'll always find a way to put a smile on your face and be grateful for what you have. My favorite subject in school is math, just because I love the way that math works, and I don't know, it's always like sort of a challenge, and I always learn something new about it. Like, I feel like sometimes that's like the only class where my head clicks, like, oh my gosh, that makes sense, and that's why. Definitely Miss Williams, because she is so outgoing, and I'm outgoing, and she's full of sarcasm, and so am I, and our class just absolutely loves her. I like to go outdoors a lot, camping, hiking, boating. I also like to snowboard in the winter and wakeboard in the summer, and just basically anything outside. I love the outdoors. In 5 years, I would like people to remember me as an athlete in basketball, track, and volleyball. We were successful in basketball when we were state champions this year, and we were the first team to ever do that for the girls at Carey School. And so maybe remember me as a hustler on the floor. Same for volleyball, I was a hustler as well. In track, I was definitely a hustler and got a lot of medals. In the hallways, I like people to remember me as an outgoing student or part of student council, trying to get everyone involved and always trying to be positive. Something that I found hard in school was I got anxiety a lot, and one of the reasons I got anxiety and still have it is because I would procrastinate, and I would think, oh, I have to do this and this and this, and then when it came time to the due date, I would just be so far behind and stressed out that it would show in my grades sometimes, and then I would stress about the grades, and just continues on and on. So my plans for the future is I plan to go to BYU, Idaho next fall, and I plan to go there for 3 to 5 years and get my master's degree in biology and become a physical therapist. And then later, in maybe 8 to 9 years, I plan to get married to a husband in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints temple, and I hope that I'll have a job then and maybe a kid or 2. In 10 years, I'll probably remember most about Carey High School is just sports and always constantly doing stuff back to back to back and always being at the school, it feels like, and just being, I don't know, overwhelmed with everything, but in a positive way, because I always had something to keep me entertained. Okay, so my schedule when I took play, which was last year, is I'd wake up and go to seminary at 7:15, then go to seminary to school at 8:30, then go to school from 8:30 to 3:06, and then after 3:06 I would go to track practice till 5 o'clock, then from 5 to 7 I would go to play practice. So I literally be gone for 12 hours a day at the school. The educational advice that I have for younger students: do not procrastinate and do Miss Young's homework. Okay, so something that I found difficult in my middle school and high school years is sometimes I would get down and I'd feel like I was left out or I didn't have friends, but something you need to always remember is that your family will be there for you and that they care about you and your problems. And if it's not your family, then there's someone out there who loves and cares about you, and you just need to go to them and talk to them, and they'll help you get through it. The thing I'm most proud of from being in Carey School is how well I've been able to keep up with my extracurricular activities and in-school activities and keep my grades high as well. Like, I participated in all 3 sports all 4 years, and have also participated in 3 plays and part of the National Honor Society, Carey Athletic Association, lots of clubs and stuff, and student council as well. And it's just sort of hard for me to learn how to manage my time. And so after I finally found the system on how to figure out how to put first things first and to do my grades and homework first before I did my extracurricular activities, and just figuring out that throughout the day I have certain spaces of time where even if it was at school that I could do my homework then, so I'd have a little bit less homework later that night. So the habit I think I'll use most after Carey High School is 1 through 7, all of the habits, because even though sometimes they may have been a little bit overused or you felt like annoyed about them, even though the teachers were advising us to do them constantly, it really does put it in the back of your head and you start to think about them even though you might not want to sometimes, and it helps you really get a plan and organize yourself, like being proactive and just getting enough sleep and thinking when and being respectful to others and putting first things first. It's basically all common sense, but sometimes when they lay it out in the habits it makes more sense. Someone that I would like to thank that helped me throughout high school and just my whole life is, first of all, my teachers. They're always very helpful, and I know I'm always that one student that's always at their door like, hey, can you fix my grade? But they're always very helpful and leaning towards me, and they would just always be like, oh, even if they thought, oh, here she is again, they'd be like, oh, hi, Lindsey, what can I do to help? And then I also would really like to thank my parents, even though sometimes I think I know what's right and they don't. I'm wrong, and I'm just gonna admit it here that I'm not always right. That's hard to say, but they've always been so loving and they always reach out and help me in whatever I want to do, and they're so supporting, and I don't think they missed a single one of my games or track meets. They're always there, and sometimes I think I might have taken that for granted, and I'm sorry because I appreciate it. I'm Lindsey Morey, and my parents are Jan and James Morey, and I'm a senior at Carey High School.
Thank you, Lindsey. We appreciate you, and we look forward to your bright future.